cowpokes. Welcome back to the Biz and His podcast. As always, the guillotine-looking GQ. Daddy Rambo in the tower of funky power coming back at ya, gentlemen.
You gotta put your hand behind it. Make sure you don't.
I'm gonna pass out one of these times.
Yeah, I thought that may have been it.
Me and Runsky sitting here
waiting.
Is he gonna go this time?
Good stuff.
How we doing, fellas?
Wonderful, because we have 25 days until opening day.
25 glorious days until opening day. It's getting there. We're getting close, fellas. This morning we had a nice temp drop. It was significantly cooler than it has been. It was a hot week
It was
here
awful.
in Cecil, Kentucky. This morning it was pretty nice.
Fucking hot down here right now, though.
It's definitely warming up now.
Yeah.
But this morning it was nice. I went out. Today was my last voyage into the deer woods until season. I went out and moved some cameras around over in our hunting spot in Port Deposit, Maryland. I did so in reaction to the bucks that we had on camera. I moved them further down towards the direction that they were coming from so we can closer pinpoint their bedding area.
Did you put the cell cam out there?
Yeah. Yep.
Great
I got
idea.
2 cameras there, but the cell cam is out there as well, so we can get real time. Because I won't be able to check the other camera until opening day, maybe.
Yeah.
So I moved the cell cam as well. So hopefully, probably not tonight, and maybe not even tomorrow because of my presence, but here soon, hopefully we'll start getting some more pictures of them bucks, and we'll be able to better pinpoint where they're bedding. That's what's nice about them cell cams, man. It's
Yeah.
real-time information.
Well, I don't know about lately. These moultries have been fucking up.
Mine hasn't.
Mine has. Like last week, I didn't get a picture for like 4 days, and I got a notification saying, we're having problems with Verizon, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't get any of that.
Huh.
But in the case that they don't send your pictures, they have SD cards in them.
Yeah, they're still there,
So
but you
you
gotta
just-
go and
yeah,
check
then
them.
it's almost like a regular camera. But then it's like, well, what am I paying this monthly fucking fee for?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I haven't gotten much pictures this week. It's been so fucking hot.
you want to hit that light?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
they definitely don't like to move as much. And if they are, they've probably been around the water a whole lot.
Yeah.
As hot as it's been. I mean, we're talking 100-degree temps with like the real feel. It was like real feel of 105 yesterday, something like that. Friday, yeah. Yep. I mean, just nasty weather, man.
I tried to ride the bike, but the battery was dead, thank God, because that would have been brutal.
Yeah.
I rode mine in Friday. It was torture.
So, yeah, it's not even fun when it's that hot.
No. Unless you're moving, I guess, then it's not too bad.
Still
No?
torture.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just because the bike's hot and
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
hot.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
fun.
Those V-twins, they run at 230 degrees operating temp, and when it's hot out like this, it's even hotter.
Then I got stuck
Yeah.
in traffic crossing the bridge. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good... Cora, what are you doing over there, Dud? Digging a hole in the basement floor?
John's dog is digging a hole in his basement.
All right.
Okay. All right, Cora.
Get after it.
Yeah. But it'll be, before we know it, the weather's going to be beautiful again. I think I'm assuming all of us, it's our favorite season. It's fall. I know it's me and John's. But is it your favorite season, Roxy? What do you think?
Of course.
Yeah. It just, not just for hunting even, but just I love the temperature. I love hoodie weather. I love the bonfires, man. I love waking up crisp, cool mornings. Like that's what I love, man. And of course hunting probably just solidifies fall as the season of choice in my mind. I love having all 4 seasons, don't get me wrong, and they each have their benefits, but I am sick and tired of sweating my ass off.
It's a good thing about Maryland. It's like once you get sick of one season, the next season's coming.
Yep.
It's not like Florida where it's fucking balls hot all the time.
Yeah, and then it's like you got summer and then like a mild summer.
Yeah.
That's Florida. Yeah. There's no winter down there. You're wearing shorts in fucking Christmas time. You know what I mean? That's not. I really like this. I guess what is the
Mid-Atlantic?
this latitude or longitude? Sorry, this Wait a minute. I don't know. I like that where we're at as
These
far as like
coordinates.
north south. You go too far south, man, then it's too hot. You go too far north, then you don't really get those nice hot summers.
And your winters are brutal up north.
Yeah, and the winters are brutal. Yeah, I'd rather go north than south personally.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a colder winter and a cooler summer.
Man, I don't know.
I'd be more likely to
don't know
move. I'd be more likely to move to say North Dakota or Montana than I would to Louisiana or Florida.
Yeah. Louisiana's a sticky bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, them Cajuns down there.
Mm-hmm. I love Louisiana. Don't get me wrong. It's an awesome place. I love the South, but I don't know how much I would like to live there with it as hot as it is. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic here. What we do have, speaking of the South, is some opening days starting up. We've been doing this every week. We're discussing as we go throughout the country. We're going to add a sticker on the map corresponding to the state as their opening day begins for whatever deer season. We got mule deer, I guess coos deer on here, whitetail, but we have August 15th,
Today.
South Carolina.
South Kakalaki.
Their whitetail season is opening up today.
Lucky bitches.
Opening on a Sunday. It's a Sunday.
odd.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
A lot of states are doing that. It's weird.
I'll have to get in touch with my boy Armstrong, Christopher Armstrong. Shout out, see if he's going to get out and hunt this year. I know he went a couple times last year, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him much about whitetail this year. I know he's going to do some duck hunting.
Stickers is the better choice. You can actually see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Did you put a sticker? Oh yeah, okay. Those ones are green. We got some different color stickers.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
far we have California, Nevada, Alaska, Florida,
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Sorry, they're right next to each other. And South Kakalaki.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, Delaware's opening soon too. That shit. What do we got? 15 days till Delaware's open.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, like every episode, we're getting into this time of the year. We're gonna be putting like 6 stickers at a time up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. September and October is when
Yeah.
most seasons open. So there's going to be a lot to that. So last week we left off with kind of a cliffhanger, and it was something that we wanted to dive into a little bit, and something we haven't talked a whole lot about is FOC.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, what the fuck does that mean?
Front of center.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, FOC is referring to the weight of your arrow being in the front, FOC, front of center. So it's the percentage of weight that is in the front of your arrow, I guess is a good way to put it. Mm-hmm. And there's like there's been a lot of research about what is an efficient amount of weight that you want to have up front compared to the rest of your arrow. And basically, the general consensus is you want somewhere between 10 and 15% FOC. And a lot of guys go to extreme FOCs, you know what I mean, up to 30%. And
Bit much.
it's got its benefits. What it does is it creates a more stable flight path.
Yeah.
That's what they're... And this isn't anything I've discovered. This is people that, you know, like... They've done research. A lot of people... I can't remember the name of a guy, but there's a guy who... He sells broadheads. Do you know who I'm talking about, Johnny?
No.
I wish I could remember his damn name. I got to take
Sells
notes.
broadheads?
Yeah, he makes broadheads that are super heavy, and I think he was on Meat Eater. He's
don't
affiliated
listen.
with them guys, but anyway. But there's been, not just this guy that I'm thinking of, but there's been several people who have done these studies, and they've observed that penetration is greater, flight paths are more stable, so on and so forth, with a solid FOC somewhere between 10 and 15%.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is a lot of, if your draw length is under, say, 28 inches, which a lot of guys are, and a lot of women are, and if you're a smaller frame dude, you're definitely under, and your GPI is, low 9s or under 9 for the weight of your arrow, and you're using a lighted knock and a 100 grain field tip, you're almost definitely under the recommended FOC.
Yeah, you're not getting recommended FOC with 100 grains.
In a lighted knock.
Yeah.
If you're under 28 inch arrow, you're almost certainly not.
If you got just a regular knock, you might be all right.
You might be all right.
Yeah, it might be 10-ish.
Yep.
Because with my arrows, I got a 28-inch draw weight or draw length because I'm a sawed-off little prick. But I was shooting 100 grains, and I was around 9.5% FOC.
Yeah.
But I upped my tip to 125 grains plus some extra weights in the back of the insert, so I'm at like 14.5 now. So
Yeah.
and it's proven that heavier arrow gets more penetration.
Yeah.
And we're all looking for some more penetration, Daddy.
Hey, if we can get just a little bit deeper, I'm a happy fella. Yeah. And I've been shooting 125s for years. Actually, I think the first year I hunted was the last time I shot 100 grains, and it's because of FOC. And I've had success with them. It's been really It's worked great for me. And like I said, there's a lot of research behind it as to. It gives you a more stable flight path, and you're going to get more penetration. And as long as you can keep, the problem is a lot of people want speed now.
Yeah.
And hey, look, I like speed too. Don't get me wrong. My arrows as well. I like them to be fast. But
Yeah.
you want them to be fast. Because,
Yeah.
dude, I've had whitetail duck my arrows. And most of the time it's from afar, over 20 yards where they'll duck it. And they're on edge, you know what I mean? But I've had that happen. And maybe if my arrow would have been a little faster, it might have got there. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just speculation.
What's a couple feet per second?
It's a couple feet.
Per second.
Yes. Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
But, I mean, so I feel like there is a trade-off here. I want my arrow to still be fast.
Yeah.
But I want my arrow also to be heavy. So I think, like, right where John and I are at, we're under 500 grains as a total weight for our arrows. I think mine is like 460.
Yeah, mine's like 445, 450.
Which is plenty enough weight for whitetail, and we're still achieving pretty decent speeds with them. I'd say we're shooting right around 300 feet per second with the weight that we have.
You think we're at 300?
We're probably really close, yeah.
I'd say like 280-ish.
Now, mine was when Autumn Sky, the bow shop in Church, Maryland. Street, Maryland. I always say Church. I don't know why. But when they had their chronograph, yeah, so I always get, that's another thing I get confused.
Yeah,
sometimes I call them dynos. Like it's a fucking car. Yeah. Horsepower. Horsepower, dude. It's similar. But I was shooting high 290s.
Oh, really?
With mine, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that might have been without a lighted knock, so it might be a little slower now. But not a whole lot, because the lighted knock isn't that heavy. So basically, and my draw length is 29 inches.
It's amazing what just a little bit of weight will do to your speed. Just having a kisser button on your string will slow it down. About 5 feet per second sometimes.
Yeah.
So, and the more shit you have on the bow will slow it down.
What do you mean?
If you have a heavier bow, you just got like more attachments, it'll slow it down.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yep.
We learn something new every day.
Yes, sir.
I guess I could see that. I mean, it will. I don't understand how that would work. Maybe it I don't know.
I don't understand it either, but yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with where we're at, get back on track here is I think you need a good balance between speed and penetration, or speed and weight of your arrow. And it's not necessarily kinetic energy, but it's momentum. So you're getting, with a heavier arrow, you're getting more momentum out of it.
It's not slowing down as fast as a lighter arrow is.
Yes, and it's going to blow through more stuff when it's going to take more energy to stop it. Yeah, which is what we want.
Fucking excited.
I've almost always had pass-throughs, so I think adding a little more weight it's just going to help, and it's going to give you a little bit more stable of a flight pattern, especially out with those long yardages. It's like, I heard the analogy of a dart. Think about a dart. You're at the bar, you're throwing darts. You can get pretty freaking accurate with a dart. Now spin that thing around and throw it with the light end up front first. How's that thing going to fly? Erratic.
Yeah.
It's going to fly like shit. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. It's an extreme example, but I think it definitely helps to have more weight up front.
Yeah, when I came over and resighted the bow in and put a new sight tape on, because of the heavier arrow I had to, it seemed like it was just tracking so much better.
Yeah.
Like it didn't, take time to like wobble out. It was just shooting darts right out of the bow. Looking sick, though.
Yeah.
Got the new wrap on there. You can actually see it.
Yeah, dude, it's a hell of a lot nicer. Because now when we're shooting, I think, what did we go out to, Johnny? I can't
100.
remember. Did we go to 100?
Yeah.
We went out to 100 yards, and we could actually see John's arrow on the target, which we haven't been able to do in a fucking year because of those damn blue wraps yet. But now with that white, it sticks out.
Yeah,
That's definitely nice. And I agree with you, man. I think just having more weight up front makes them, it definitely flies better. I can tell a difference, especially in those longer range shots. You can tell.
Yeah.
It's just more stable of a flight path. It really is.
So there is to it.
And also, something I noticed, I don't know if we even talked about it, but when we were shooting, your arrows were penetrating deeper than mine were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. And you got more weight up front than I do now.
Yeah.
Because you got those inserts as well as the 125s, and his arrows were going in further than mine, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little shorter of an arrow, too, but they were definitely
but they were
deeper.
Yeah. Which before, they were pretty close. But now with all that extra weight up front, you're definitely deeper.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the gaping holes I put in the whitetail this year with those Levi Morgan Schwackers I just got in the mail.
Yeah, so you're going to try them out too. They're 125s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this last week, so I don't want to get into it too much, but the Schwackers have a lot of cool features. You can lock down your blades, you can practice with them, you can shoot them. They're a sweet mechanical broadhead. Brunsky, what kind of broadheads are you using this year, man?
I got the G5s and the Grim Reapers.
Okay.
Grim Reaper, great fucking broadhead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with the 100 grain though.
Oh, yeah.
You got a long arrow, though, so
Yeah,
you're right.
you can probably get away with it. Yeah, I bet your FOC ain't too bad.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the 100 grain.
Yeah, as long as your arrow is, your draw weight's like 47 inches or something outrageous. Your draw
Fucking
length.
Avatar bow.
Yeah. We got the bow scale. We all pretty much tied in right around 69 to 71 pounds with our bows. That's cool. That's a testament to a quality bow tuning. It should be, your draw should be right where it's at to make sure that your cam's all twisted up. Runsky, let's touch base on tying your first peep in. How'd that go?
Awesome. Great experience until I was cutting the fucking serving off and nicked my bowstring and cut one of my strings.
That's a bit Runsky.
Outside of that, great time. So I fucking go over to Seth. I'm like, let's tie his fucking peep in, dude. Seth's like, all right, here's an X-Acto knife and be really, really careful, Jeremy. Like, you don't want to fuck your string up. And I'm like, give me that motherfucker. And I'm cutting. I slide off the serving and tink, just tap my fucking bowstring. So yeah, I blew one of my bowstrings out, but I'm going to ride it out. Fuck it.
Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, you've got, most bowstrings have like 14 strands to them. And if you cut one or two, you might be all right. Now, Runsky's going to order a new one.
Just a habit.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, that's part of learning this stuff. And it makes me wonder, we were talking about it, how many times has a shop done that and just not even said anything?
And wrap some serving over
Yeah,
it.
wrap some serving over it. But which is basically what we did.
Yeah.
We served as good as we could around where it got cut. And, hey, man, it's good. It's shooting. We shot fine. And everything's great. But it's an easy thing to do. When you're cutting that serving off, you make one little mistake, dude. You cut that string. It sucks.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but an experience. It's awesome.
Yeah, it
looks great.
Yeah, it
Shoots
looks
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, I did the aluminium dark green to match my bow.
Yeah, nice dark green aluminum or peep sight thing, sweet. And just tying in a peep sight is probably it's like the coup de grace when you tune your bow or restring your bow. It's the best part.
Yeah, when you pull out that last knot, it's like, oh my god. Then you fucking light them on fire and tap them down. It just looks so crispy. The way we tied ours in, it just looks so sick.
Yeah, all three of us did the same thing. I don't know if we posted that on Instagram, but it's the same way that
Levi
Morgan does it that way. I know that. I think Dudley does too. I could be mistaken, but it's a really nice way to tie a peep in. You basically wrap around one side, wrap around the peep, and then wrap around the other side, and it's got little spirals around it. It just looks nice. It's a sharp looking peep. I like it a lot. What you got for us, Johnny?
Well, I know we love to talk about and drool over the mythical flight of the arrow, but I don't think we go into gun safety enough here on the Biz and Death podcast. By the way, new fucking koozies, dude. there's koozies. If you're lucky enough to get one of them. But this comes out of
Get all the fucking pussy at the bars with that thing, dude.
This comes out of Altamonte Springs, Florida.
Sound it out.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Sound it out.
Altamonte, Florida. A Florida mother was killed when her young child accidentally discharged an unsecured firearm while the woman was participating in a work-related Zoom call.
Holy shit.
Officers were called to an apartment complex in Altamonte Springs on Wednesday, police said, after someone on the call heard a loud noise and saw the 21-year-old Shamaya Lynn fall backwards. Paramedics arrived at the scene and tried to save Lynn's life, but she was pronounced dead after suffering a gunshot wound to the head.
Man, so how old was the kid?
Does
Does it say?
Does not say.
On a Zoom call, she gets shot in the head by her kid. Am I understanding that right?
Yep, she was just working. On a Zoom call. Kid came up behind her, pow! Right in the head.
Oh my gosh. That is horrible. I don't know why Runsky's laughing.
What the hell's the matter, you monster?
Dude, that is, yeah, man.
That's terrible.
That's awful.
You know what? What's interesting now, my son, I've taught him gun safety since he was able to talk, but he just did in Maryland, you can do an apprentice hunting license, and you can only do it for a year. Then you have to go do the actual course and the field day and all that stuff. But for his first year hunting this year, I got him the apprentice hunting license. And basically how that works is he goes online, he does a hunter safety online course and test. He has to take a test, and you watch some videos and stuff. And it's all stuff that, for the most part, is stuff I've already taught him. But it's good to reiterate these things. And I say, hey, man, safety last, or safety first. You know what I mean? But so he actually just did that, and he passed the flying colors. It was a 10-question test. He got one wrong, and then he just go back and retake it. He did really good. But, dude, we've had that happen here at our gun range. A kid shot their dad and killed him.
Yeah.
Like, firearms, man, and you can get complacent. I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean? Doing stupid shit with a gun, but it takes just an instant, man. That's why if you got young kids, dude,
lock your shit
Lock
up.
them up and leave them unloaded.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
the fact that he got his hands on a loaded gun is the first red flag.
That's why I want to know how old he is. Like, is this kid like 4 and it's a
14?
pistol?
Is it a 14-year-old
If it's a
kid?
14-year-old, okay, there's way more problems. But if he's like 4, then there's no way he's chambering around.
No, the gun was loaded.
Yeah.
So the gun must have literally had one in the chamber if he was like a little kid, which is that's the parents' fault or whoever left the gun unattended's fault. And I mean, almost in unless the kid's like older, like 15 or something. And even then, it's still arguably the parents' fault. But man, that's on to me. That's on the parents.
Yeah. It said it was the father's gun, and obviously he just didn't lock it up. So
Man.
lock up your fucking guns, especially when you got toddlers around.
I don't even have kids, and I get paranoid. Like, my friends have kids. I got my nephew, and I get fucking paranoid about that shit at my house.
Yeah.
And I don't even have kids.
All right, but you got kids over there, and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's
my
like,
guns
all right,
are
that's probably not a good idea to leave your
Yeah.
shotgun out on the hutch.
Yeah.
I got my handgun in a holster right on my box spring, so if somebody like comes in here, they get clapped. But I don't have kids, so
Yeah, I do the same thing, but my kids, I've taught them gun safety, and most of the time they can't get in my room anyway.
Yeah.
But it's also, there's no round chambered.
Exactly.
I'd have to chamber a round. And Wyatt fully knows how to handle a pistol, so I don't worry about him. But Hannah, when she's home, she can't. There's no way she could access my firearms. Anyway.
and she's not strong enough to chamber one.
Nah,
anyway.
she couldn't chamber around anyway, but still, she doesn't have access to them.
Yeah.
That's just fucking parenting. That's what
Yeah.
you got to do. But I get nervous even going to the gun range, man, because people just don't. People are stupid.
People are dumb.
I went to the gun range not too long ago, and we were shooting some of these pistols that I built, and there's an old couple next to us, and they've got like their granddaughter and their daughter there, and this old man's like teaching them how to shoot. Doing a terrible job. It's definitely not teaching them how to shoot properly. They're sitting on the gun bench with their elbows bent, and they're sitting down like this, and they're shooting like this. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna go over there and say anything or anything. But we start talking to the lady. She asked me about what kind of gun I was shooting because she said it was loud. I was like, oh, it's just a 9mm. She was shooting a 38, and she pulled out. She said, "Oh, look, I just got this from an auction or something like that down in Kentucky." And she grabs this little holster, and it's a tiny little gun, and it was a 22. And she pulls it out, and she's got her finger inside the trigger guard, and she goes like this, and goes to show it to me, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa!" And she's like, "Oh, it's not loaded." I'm like, "I don't know that."
You don't know that. You think you do.
Like, what? I was like, please take that pistol out and don't point it in somebody's direction. Like, what is wrong with these people? And this is like a 40-year-old woman.
Don't point.
It makes me nervous anytime I go to the gun range. It's because you got people like that are idiots. Always treat a gun like it's loaded.
Exactly.
And never always point the muzzle in a safe direction. Those are like baseline shit everybody should know.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, people.
Yeah, so, don't be an idiot. That's pretty much what we're getting at here. Another story coming out of Florida. This one's out of Palm Harbor, Florida. Yeah, I'll take one.
Fucking Florida.
Yeah, fucking Florida. We got a reoccurring theme here. An investigation is underway into who is shooting deer with a bow and arrow near Landsbrook community of Palm Harbor. Several photos show deer with arrows to their leg, abdomen, and neck. And now the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is investigating. And Ted Nugent has actually put up a cash reward to find these pieces of shit that are just shooting deer.
Almost makes you wonder if they're doing it just because they're sick fucks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They are.
There's just deer walking around with fucking arrows in them.
It's either a piece of shit psychopath or it's young kids. That's my guess.
It looks like crossbow bolts, and they're not passing all the way through, so it's probably just like a toy crossbow.
All right.
See, these are pictures.
Let me see. Oh my gosh.
But just fucking piece
twisted
of garbage.
motherfuckers.
Twisted.
Man.
Yeah. So Uncle Ted has put up a cash reward if you know these fucking losers.
I bet it's kids.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Which, still, man, like, come on. You know?
Like what was that? Last year or the year before, those kids up in PA that shot the spine that buck and fucking literally tortured the poor fucking thing.
Yeah, that was disgusting, man.
We should have tarred and feathered those pieces of shit in the fucking town square. You shouldn't be able to. If you do that to an animal and video it, first of all, and send it to your fucking friends like it's funny, you're just a piece of shit. You don't deserve to live. Sorry.
Yeah. That was disgusting to watch, man. I don't even like talking about it, giving them any kind of publicity. It's just, man. I don't understand people.
Me neither.
That's the thing, though. No matter what, you're always going to have evil people, and that's never going to change. You know what I mean? They're always going to be around. Yeah. But yeah, raise your kids right, and fucking don't be a piece of shit. That's all there is to it. Fucking hunt deer. Enjoy it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, stop being fucking dickheads, dude.
I got a couple things I wanted to discuss on here.
Yeah, sorry about the two really downtrodden topics right there, dude.
Starting off depressing.
Let's pick this back up.
We talked about something, and you guys brought this to my attention, and I never even knew this was like a thing. But I took a poll on the Instagram, and I freaking failed to write down the percentage, but I think it was roughly 60% to 40%. And my question, we were talking about driving into the woods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, you're on your way to the deer woods, and you're going to hunt, or the field, or wherever you are going to hunt. You guys said that you guys will have sometimes a particular song that you play to get you, like, fired up and ready to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? No, yeah. I don't pay attention to the radio at all. And often when I start getting close to it, I turn the music off completely. So I just thought that was interesting that we approach that differently. Runsky, what's your go-to song?
Duran Duran, Hungry Like a Wolf. Next.
Hungry like a wolf.
It is.
Really?
Good one.
That's it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. I think it's cool. I never even really thought about it. What about you, Johnny? Do you have like a go-to song, or do you just jam out?
I have two go-to songs that I need to listen to before I go into the woods. I will park my truck and wait till these songs are over. Number one is Joe Diffie, Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. I don't know why.
It's a good one.
And number two is, we have differing opinions on this song. You don't like it. Ted Nugent, Fred Bear.
Great song.
Terrible
Great
song.
fucking
Great
song.
fucking
You're
song.
out of your goddamn
Good
mind.
meaning. Great meaning behind it. Phenomenal.
Somebody needs to
Great lyrics.
take him out.
But the song, itself
we're gonna take him behind the shit.
is awful.
You're out of your
Out of your
mind.
fucking mind.
I'd rather listen to nails on a fucking chalkboard on the way into that my fucking
I'm really
hunt.
starting to rethink this friendship.
You know?
Dude, I love that fucking
Yeah,
song.
It is-
Fred
yeah,
Bear
it's like
by
Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted Nugent is a phenomenal song.
It's like-
And for a hunting song, there's not a lot of hunting country songs.
Yeah, it's like
It's got good meaning. I'm
like-
not knocking the meaning behind it, but the song
You just
is
don't like-
absolutely
Okay.
terrible.
It's like the hunter's anthem.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion,
It's
whether
terrible.
it's a shit
Wrong.
opinion or
it's
not.
a shit song.
He's entitled
it's,
to it.
It's a shit song. I don't know what the
I
fuck.
disagree.
You guys are just-
Disagree. You know what? We might have an accidental gun safety accident next time we go hunting together. Huronski, he got shot in the back 40 times.
Accident.
With a bolt action 30-06.
I don't know. It's fucking good lyrics. It's a shitty song.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting, though, but apparently most people agree with you guys. Most people do have, like, a specific song that they listen to on the way to the woods. I thought that was pretty cool.
What did Brent say down in Virginia? Blake Shelton, God's Country.
Ooh,
God's Country. That's a great
good
song.
song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a banger.
Yeah, it is. That's a really good one.
God's Country.
I might try it. I'm gonna try Fred Bear this year.
Oh my god.
It's not like I don't want to say it's a pump up song, but it's just like
Excuse me.
I don't know
It's
what it is.
pumps me up.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's my thing though. Like, I don't want to get pumped up. I want to get
Yeah.
like in the zone. I want to
Yeah.
get to like. I want to get to that flow state of mind and really just absorb.
But it's crazy. Like when you open your truck door, you just leave it all in the truck, man. It's like I rip in there. And
Maybe
fucking,
that's what it is.
And I just close the door and you're quiet for fucking 6 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
Just
it
having
is.
that last like. I don't
Yeah.
know. I like it.
Yeah, because it's definitely you're like hunting is not like getting up on the platform and trying to pull 500 pounds. You know, you obviously have a pump up song for that.
Yeah.
Or you have a pump up song if you're going out and playing football and hitting somebody in the teeth.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like that. It's just like you said. I think it's just
Quiet,
leaving it all in
yeah,
the truck.
The quiet before the storm.
Yeah. Speaking of songs, Ryan Maitland,
Hey.
our frequent guest on the podcast, had his first jiu-jitsu competition and he won.
Yay!
Congratulations to our boy Ryan. But his walkout song, they gave him a walkout
Spice
song
Girls.
in this
Was it
competition.
Spice Girls.
No,
It should have been Stranglehold.
It was fucking Sturgill Simpson.
Ah,
Okay.
I can't remember what song it was, but I thought that was pretty damn cool. I've never competed in a jiu-jitsu tournament that had walkout music. That's badass.
It looked legit.
Yeah, it looked like a cool ass tournament, Ryan. Congratulations, brother.
Congrats, man.
Congrats,
It's
brother.
awesome. Keep it up.
Hell yeah.
it should have been Ted Nugent's Stranglehold, though.
Yeah,
It's a
that
long,
would
it's
have
an
that would have
8-minute
been a good
song.
one.
You gotta get it.
They
You
just
have to
they just give
crop
you like
that.
a highlight anyway. Yeah.
Ryan's just sitting in the corner, just listening to 8 minutes of Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Okay, when's this gonna end?
I'm more like a heavy metal kind of guy. Like for like training in the gym. Like I want metal.
Yeah.
Like fucking Hatebreed or something. You know what I mean? That's
Metallica.
what I get into. Metallica. Like that's what gets me fired up. Country, Jeff Sturgis.
It worked.
I mean, yeah. Hey, it to each their own. I can't really listen to country when I'm pumping iron or when I'm boxing or jiu-jitsu or anything
When
like that.
cranking it.
I guess I could, but it doesn't get me going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, to each their own. That's like somebody, they might be on their way to hunt and be bumping some fucking 50 Cent, dude. I don't
Yeah,
know.
who knows?
Many men wish death upon me, Lord, I don't cry no more. Yeah, who knows? Everybody's got their own thing. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting topic.
It is interesting.
If you're listening to the podcast and you didn't see our Instagram story about that, if you got a song that you really like, send it to us. We want to hear what you're listening to.
Yeah.
I think
Curious.
it's interesting.
Very
Yeah, it's
curious.
It's cool to know. It's cool
You
to
got
know.
Duran Duran. I got Joe Diffie and Uncle Ted.
Everybody's got their own shit opinion of songs. Well, at least Runsky.
Hey. 80s music is the fucking shit, though. Love 80s music.
Fred Ferris 80s music too.
Terrible 80s music.
We also had a really good listener question, and I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So bear with me while I peruse this
From
question.
my boy Braden, right? He fires off some good ones.
Yeah, he
how
does.
about we didn't talk about my Spot Hog Wise Guy.
Oh yeah.
Review.
Yeah, I'll pull this up. Let's give us a rundown of that.
Dude.
Runsky brought it over to the house, and I'll give you my opinion of it. But Runsky, what's your overall review of the Spot Hog Wise Guy wrist release?
9.5 out of 10.
Was it worth the $957,000 you spent on it?
Yes.
How much was it? What's the price tag?
$120. $120. The adjustability in it and the feel of it are well worth it.
Out of the box, what kind of mechanism does it use to go around the D loop? Is it a caliper?
It's not a caliper.
Or is it the?
It's the hook.
The little hook.
Sear.
The sear. It's a sear.
It's a sear.
And it definitely speeds things up. Sliding that fucker right in that D loop. Yeah, it's.
Speaking of Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Maitland.
Yeah.
Just snapped us all.
So.
But yeah, it's nice. And having that trigger adjustability, I got that fucker hot, baby.
So you can adjust the tension that you have to apply to the trigger.
Yep.
That's cool. And how do you adjust it?
There's a little set screw at the base of the trigger. Clockwise and clockwise get you hotter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so pretty simple.
It just
So I
pushes a
cranked it
little
in,
screw out and
and
pushes the trigger out.
Yeah, the feel of it. The feels. Spot Hog makes quality shit.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
I agree. I checked that thing out when you came over and we worked on your bow. The first thing that I noticed about it that I like a lot is the ability to adjust the length of the trigger. Not the trigger, but the release itself.
And it's notched.
Yeah.
So you can actually measure it out.
And
like
you can make minute adjustments to the length of your release. So that's the problem with a lot of wrist release and why I don't really shoot them.
Too long.
Is they're so long. And a lot of times you're almost forced to use the tip of your finger to shoot it, rather than being able to wrap your finger around the trigger and pull through your shot, which is how you're supposed to use a wrist release.
We have a video on that.
Yes, we do, on the YouTube channel. And the Spot Hog is super adjustable. I mean, you can make that thing long if you've got fucking freakish shack hands, or you can make it shoot if you've got fucking midget hands.
We'll touch base on that.
We even let Wyatt try it on my son, who's 8 years old, and it's I can get that thing smaller than his child's release that I bought for him.
Wow.
Which I thought was really cool. Okay. So I might even end up getting Wyatt one. I don't know. I'm gonna let him shoot what he's got. I don't want to throw too many wrenches at him. But I thought that was the first thing I noticed about the Spot Hog release. The adjustability is really cool.
But is it any different than my $60 True Fire?
Yes. You got to shoot it.
Well, it is different.
I think the length adjustment is probably the only difference. Because I can make my
what kind
True
of
Fire
adjustability?
hotter.
You do have adjustability in that?
Yeah, you screw
Pull
it down.
apart. You'll see, my True Fire is probably like more like the $40 version.
Yeah.
And you can adjust that too, but it's a shitty fucking design. Like that little set screw. It's just horseshit.
You screw it in and then you tighten down the set screw.
Terrible design.
Yeah.
Great release.
I love it. My chicken wang.
It served its purpose, but I won't go back.
I love that release.
I like John's a lot too. As far as a wristy, I like both of yours for wristies, but his is definitely better as far as the way you can adjust it. I like the fact that yours has two fingers. What is yours, John, for the listeners?
True Fire chicken wang.
I don't know where you found that motherfucker. I've been looking for a 2-finger.
Amazon.
Really?
It came with the 1-finger trigger, and it came with the 2.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Oh, it came with both.
Yeah. It just has a little Allen key. You just take it off, whatever you prefer.
2 is way better. I think it's a lot harder to punch it. You can still punch it, but I think it's way better.
I like the 2.
And here, I'm about to fuck you guys both up real quick. You guys ready, you beautiful sons of bitches? So, with a wrist release, John, why did you choose, being that you can shoot very well with a hinge, why are you choosing to hunt with a wrist release?
Comfort, man. I just, if I get a fucking Don Higgins 200-inch buck coming at me, I don't want to have to, I don't know. If I need to punch, I want to be able to punch.
So,
if I want to use bad technique, I want to be able to do it.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
So you acknowledge the fact that you want to be able to punch the trigger if you need to.
I had a good stance on this.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had to punch a trigger on these fucking animals, but God forbid, if I got a fucking 10-inch buck coming by.
Just a hammer, a monster
just a huge
107 incher.
That's a good question.
I gotta just fucking.
You want to be able to punch the trigger.
I know it's not the way you're supposed to do it, but
all I'm saying is I'm pointing out the flaw in that logic.
of course, and as I
He
spew it out of
recognizes
my
it.
mouth, I know.
recognize it. Yeah.
You know it's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's why I've wanted to always hunt with my thumb release rather than my hinge. But it's also the reason why I'm forcing myself to hunt with a hinge this year.
And you've said it 1,000 times. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yes. And you want to punch it, you want to have that ability, but hey, man, you'd be surprised at how quickly you can execute a good shot with a hinge.
Oh yeah, it's just as quick.
It is, and yet you really don't need. I've never had a situation for me in hunting where the speed of a hinge and the speed of a punch trigger is going to make the difference in whether or not I can shoot that deer. Because I can execute a pretty fast shot with that hinge, and if I want to punch it, I can still punch it too.
Yeah, just squeeze.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder to do, and it's like against my nature. It'd be like tying my shoes a different way. You know what I mean? Because it's just not what I've done.
Loop, swoop, and pull versus
To
bunny
me,
ears.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like switching up last minute, which you're just not going to do. At least I'm not. So I hope I'm not. I just wanted to point that out to anybody who's on the fence of trying to hinge, because I've been that way for a while now, and that. When I ask myself that question, that is why I'm like, you know what? Just stop. Just go take the fucking hinge, and that's why I'm doing.
I just like the security, the comfort of having that fucker wrapped around my goddamn wrist.
No, I mean,
Like
yeah,
it's.
Yeah,
because
I've had minimal experience with the hand releases,
yeah,
which does have something to do with it. Maybe next year I'll
and
start
there's some
fucking with those
pluses to
more.
a
There
hand
are.
release.
yeah.
But
I get
Having-
I get
no, go.
I get why when you haven't shot a hand or hinge release, rather, is better, a whole lot. I get why you would want to go with the wristy, and I get why you would want to go with it even with experience. But I just feel like
I got my.
I just want to point out
you
the
made your
error in the
point.
logic
But
of why maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to try it.
okay, I got a question for you.
Which is why I'm trying it
I
this
just thought
year.
of this question. You proud of me? I just thought of something.
I am. I see some smoke
Have
coming
you
out of your ears.
have you shot that fucker in cold weather? The hand release?
Oh yeah, that thing
Oh,
is
yeah.
different, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
How's that?
So-
What's that all about?
it's a little colder. Right?
With
Keep your fingers warm. You
so
don't
it
wanna numb-
depends on the type of release.
Yeah.
My B3 Ranger was not. It did not change.
Because it's the moon style, right?
Well, they're both moon style, but one is a sear type inside of the mechanism that initiates the fire. As to the Honey 2, the one I use now with the safety, has a spring.
Yeah.
And the thing about that spring is, in cold temperatures and hot temperatures, it's going to be a different amount of pressure that you have to apply to get it to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can look at this one of two ways. You can look at it as you're going to get inconsistent amounts of pressure, so that's potentially bad. Or you can look at it as you're going to still have to execute a good shot because you don't know when it's going to fire, because it could be different from one day to the next depending on temperature.
That's the thing about.
So you're going to get a surprise shot.
That's the thing about my hinge. Like, you can get used to
Yeah.
when that thing's gonna fall off that moon.
Yep.
And so
You can still possibly develop target panic.
Yeah.
Which is why it's good to shoot different releases, or it's good to adjust your tension. But I kind of like that about that Honey 2 release that I shoot, is that it's a little different almost every time you shoot it, depending on temperature
Yeah.
and humidity. I mean, there's a lot of factors. So I don't even necessarily see that as a bad thing, to answer your question.
Yeah. I like the main plus of a hand release to me is when you hang your bow up on the bow hanger, and you can just hook the old hand release on, and you don't have a bunch of shit on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go into your bag without having to worry about your gumming up your hand with the fucking the wristy.
Right, you can sit there and eat your fucking Cheetos and
Yeah,
not
dude.
get them all over your fingers, you know what I mean? Or
Exactly,
get the release down in the Cheeto bag and stuff. It's just clipped on your bowstring. You're good to go. I like that a lot about them too. It's just it is a lot of a preference thing, and we justify why we use and what we do for various reasons. But I just thought That was an interesting thing I wanted to touch base on, and maybe just plant a little seed in your guys' mind, a virus, if you will, that may spread and make you change your mind.
The true fire I was shooting, you could not adjust sensitivity on the trigger, so I'm looking forward to.
Oh, you're a true fire.
Yeah, dabbling with that.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Killing some neighborhood cats by accident. And shit.
Yeah.
Killing the old lady, fucking cleaning her pool.
It makes
Too hot, too hot.
too hot, dude. I gotta lay low for a while. I'm going to Mexico. Mind if I come stay with you? There's cops all
I don't
over.
even want this bow anymore. I should probably sell it, right?
You guys want to buy a left-handed bow?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, a bow's a great murder weapon.
It is.
If you don't got prints or nothing on your shaft, man, they can't trace that back to any kind of, not like a firearm, how they can use ballistics to trace it back to a specific weapon.
I've killed at least a half dozen people in Cecil County by accident.
Holy shit, dude. You should probably not say that on the pod. I should put down the airways. I wonder if anybody's ever, if there's ever been, any serial killer who used a bow.
Wow.
That'd be fascinating.
Yeah, I'd love to look into that.
Richard Kuklinski. You ever heard of him?
No.
He was a hitman for the mob. He said he killed over 150 people.
Gee.
And he would just get creative with it. He killed someone with a crossbow.
Right.
He
Yeah.
said.
Right.
You're a sick fuck.
I love these.
Watching that
true
shit.
It wasn't why. It was a podcast. A
lot
lot
of
of podcasts
Okay,
on the left.
all right.
Dude,
I like
those
it.
podcasts
Oh, yeah.
have so much following, like true crime and horror, and why people are so interested in that is I don't know. But it's interesting to hear about these psychopaths that do this crazy shit.
You just want to try to delve into the mind of these motherfuckers. What is wrong with you?
And how does a person get to the point to where they can ruthlessly kill other people?
Yeah.
It's people that did nothing to you and are completely innocent. It is fascinating stuff. I get it. I get why people are into it. It doesn't really do it for me, but I get it. Definitely get it.
So did Chris B send you anything for buying his Ultraview grip yet?
Well,
He send you a T-shirt or an autograph? Or
he's going to be on the podcast next week.
No shit.
Good buddy. Good buddy.
I
of
see
John's.
nothing wrong with this fucking Hoyt grip. I don't know why.
I see everything wrong with it.
I just think it was just poor form.
No way, good. I don't like it.
I'm not a huge fan of their stock grips myself.
I've heard a lot of people just taking the grip off completely
Yeah.
and it fixing some torque, some hand torque.
Yeah.
Wow.
But during the winter time, just that straight aluminum riser. Woo!
Did you see? There's a company that's you can mold your hand to a grip, like a form,
Wow.
and they'll form a grip to you. I'm thinking about getting it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who does that? Do
I
you know-
can't
do you
remember.
the name of
More details next week. I'll bring.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
We'll talk, but they'll mold, like you said. That is it, baby.
them? Really?
Wow.
And you can
Okay.
mold your hand to the fucking grip, and they'll fucking cast it for you.
That seems like the optimal
Yes.
grip.
Yes.
I mean, it's molded,
So you know-
personalized.
Yeah.
That's it.
Personalized, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Bet it's a fortune.
probably.
That
Probably
Do the 401k.
yeah, probably $300.
My,
but
my
it's
bubble's
still,
far left, my hand's all cocked. It's perfect. Mold that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
That is cool, man. I'll have to.
I always
I'd
find
definitely
myself-
be interested in that. Let me know.
Yeah, we're
I'll
obsessed with this shit. So I find myself jumping
Yeah.
down rabbit holes that I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect to go down.
Be
And
diving down rabbit
Yeah.
holes at work when you should probably be doing something.
absolutely.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
But yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool.
All right, so let's get into this question. I'm just going to read it. All right, so I've got a discussion for you guys. Everyone always says to stay out of your hunting area so that you don't leave your scent and blow your area up. And, obviously, we've all heard that, to stay out of there as much as possible and minimize your presence. But if you spend a decent amount of time in the area that you hunt and leave your scent there without spooking deer every time you're there, does it teach the deer that your scent isn't necessarily a danger and allow them to get used to it before the season? So his thought is if your scent is always present, then maybe they can actually get used to your scent and you can train them to be basically get acclimated to your scent being in an area. And I've thought about this a lot in the past, actually. And I've even heard people say, say if you're setting bait out, like corn out, run your hands through the corn and just get your scent on the corn and get them to basically get used to your scent being there.
Acclimate to your scent.
Yeah. And it's a
It's a valid argument.
I got my opinion. You guys go. What's your...
I want to be in there as little as possible. It's just who I am. I don't want, as I've grown as a hunter, I just don't want to spread my scent everywhere. Like this year, I want to pay attention to the wind more. I want to blow up bedding areas. I mean, look at Don Higgins. Don Higgins is all about the wind, and big bucks want, what do they want out of life? They want as little human intrusion as possible. He says it every episode of his podcast.
But are you an intrusion if your scent's familiar?
I don't know if you can get your scent familiar, man.
Or maybe not, familiar.
Because you're a predator.
Yeah, that's my thing. I get the argument, and I get what you're saying, and I've thought about it myself, but I just don't think that you can ever truly acclimate deer to your scent in an area. Not only is it, you got new deer being born every year, so then you're almost starting over like every year, making sure deer is used to a human scent, and it is just their instinct to avoid humans and our presence. But then you got the same argument which he mentioned on here further down, is like they get used to like farm equipment and stuff like that.
Well, okay, farm equipment's different. Like you can ride a bike right past a deer and it doesn't give a fuck. But as soon as you step off that bike, see ya.
Yeah, because they've evolved over the course of 100,000 years to associate a human being danger.
Yeah.
And that's just, they've always been hunted by us for time and infinite, you know what I mean? So I think trying to break them of something like that is by making your presence more frequent, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
I get the idea, and it's not, I don't think it's, I could be totally wrong about it, but that's just, if I really analyze it and evaluate that, I just don't think that it's ever going to really work.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, so it's the amount of, like, dude, there are fucking deer tucked in these little fucking 10-acre plots in the middle of neighborhoods, people cutting their grass, people feeding them. I think the amount of the like the frequency of the exposure to humans, like the properties we hunt, deer aren't exposed to people that often. They're not. But like if you go to a neighborhood with a 10-acre plot and these deer are just shoved in this 10-acre plot in the middle of a neighborhood and people are always feeding them, there's lawnmowers going, I think those deer might be a little different.
Yeah, but they're not being hunted.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So our circumstance, it would never work.
Yeah. Maybe we should do a study.
I don't think it would work.
Maybe we should, like in the off season, do a study. Go to one piece of property and put out some corn and just fucking roll around in it, stop, drop, and roll.
Well,
and then the other property, just lay out some corn and rarely go in there
so
and see what we can get.
The piece of property I hunt is a prime example.
Yeah.
A row of townhouses.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, those deer are a lot less gun shy towards people.
Yeah, lot. They gotta be.
Yeah. And you could say the same thing about, like, say these areas like at the VFW up in Perryville, Maryland. They don't allow hunting there, and there's a park there as well. And in that park, you can damn near hand feed these deer.
Oh,
because they don't really associate humans with danger anymore. And then the young deer learn from the old deer that humans are not dangerous. But my thing is as soon as you shoot one,
that's it.
That's going to change. And maybe not for on the first one. Maybe you might get them a little more used to it, but you shoot another one, and then you shoot another one. They are going to avoid you. That's how that works. But, I mean, I guess if for decades you never shoot any deer in there, it's like Yellowstone. I mean, eventually the animals get used to people and they no longer really associate them with it.
Yeah, Yellowstone is something else. You ever been?
No.
We rode in on a work trip. Great show. We rode in on a work trip, and there's just elk right on the road. People fucking feeding them crackers and shit. It's insane.
Yeah.
The little ground squirrels run right up to you and want crackers. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Petting zoo?
The Grand Canyon's like that, man. We were going to the Grand Canyon as a kid and fucking squirrels. Everything was just jump.
Yeah.
They're so acclimated to people.
That's, I mean, I guess it's like one of those things, nature versus nurture, because nature dictates that they will avoid people because we're predators. But I guess if you, over time, they get acclimated to it, then maybe they won't associate you with danger anymore. But I think it's going to take just a few, if not one time where you kill one of them, they're going to stop coming around.
It may take like at pork, it could take 5 years for those deer to warm up. You know what I mean? Like, it would
more.
never happen.
Probably more.
But yeah, you're talking.
I'm saying decades.
You said decades, and that's probably accurate.
Yeah, I think it would take decades, generations of deer no longer associating you with. And how long would it take for them to get used to it initially? It would just take such a long time, and I think it's just not feasible. Yeah. You could try it, but I think it's going to take an outrageously long time, and you're better off just staying out and doing it the old-fashioned way, the way that we've done it for millennia.
And I like to think people think the same way. You don't go into those woods for fucking months. Yeah, and then 2 months before hunting season gets there, you're fucking... So they have months of no human exposure at all.
Yeah.
And then you go in there 2 months before the season opens, and you're exposed.
Yeah.
Johnny, in your experience, how much does, say, one sit where you go in and you shoot a deer, how much does that affect the deer's patterns and their activity? Like, say you go into a particular spot, you haven't been in there in a while, you go in, you hunt, you kill something, you gut it, you drag it out. How long do you think until that spot is going to return to normal deer activity, or will it be affected at all off of one kill, one time going in?
In my experience, it's definitely affected for one, but it takes a couple sits before it's just blown to smithereens, in my experience. I mean, I've shot deer out of the same exact tree 2 nights in a row last year.
Really?
Yeah, and it takes a little bit, but they do start to avoid that area.
Yeah.
So.
What was the story you told me? You said you smoked a deer and the other deer came up and...
started
licking the blood.
Yeah, that was... I shot a doe, she died, I gutted her, and the deer came beelined right to the gut site and started licking the ground.
How long apart was that?
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Now, how long do you think that spot is blown, though, after you kill an animal there?
I mean, that's hard to say. Could be all season, you never know. Especially for a old, mature, wise doe or buck.
Yeah.
These animals are smart.
So you think a young deer...
Oh, yeah. You could smoke a button buck there.
Right. And
Sign me up.
And then more young deer will come back and not be as affected as opposed to an older deer.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to react a lot differently?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you blow up a buck, you're not seeing him again in that same tree.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I agree with you. I think that's the same thing that I've seen. And I just think... That's why we go back to that whole thing, the first set's often the best set in any particular stand or location. And that's why I think it's important to pick and choose your battles. It's almost like, with your wife or your girlfriend.
No way to
pick and choose your times to have these arguments or to have these sets, because it's real easy to fuck a spot up by human presence.
Yeah, I am definitely playing the wind. We talked about this last night.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. If the wind's bad, I'm not just going in there because fuck it, I want to hunt. I'm not doing it.
No.
I made that mistake last year.
Yeah, so did I. I blew a fucking spot up.
Yeah, I won't do it. Won't do it. And if that's what's nice about public land is, say you got, like us, we all have our private spots. We don't have a lot of them, but we have private spots. And if the wind ain't good for there, I'm not going there. But there's plenty of private land areas where you can possibly hunt. There's around here. There's one of them where you can go hunt with whatever wind direction it is. There's just different spots. You got an ability to hunt different locations. Like, I could probably hunt almost every day of the week, and the wind can be all over the place. But there's somewhere I can hunt with that wind direction that is going to be good. I can almost always find a spot to hunt. But you still don't, even on public land, you don't want to ruin your spots on public either. So you still want to play the wind, but you've got so many choices. At least here in Cecil County, we've got a lot of public land spots we can hunt.
Yeah.
So depending on the wind, we can almost always hunt somewhere. So, and that's the thing I was thinking about for opening day. Like, we've got these plans set, and it's almost like we've set them in stone. Mm-hmm. But if the wind is shit, we're going to have to make a game time decision and do something different.
Yeah, for where we're going opening day, what do we need, a south wind?
We need an east wind. It depends, really. An east wind would be really good. An east wind would be perfect, if I'm thinking correctly. But
Probably not.
Probably not. I could be totally wrong.
Highly unlikely.
I think an east wind would be really good. But then if we have a north wind, that wouldn't be so bad either.
I look forward to that snap on opening day. I thought Seth said an east wind was good. Definitely need a west wind.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
We're getting close, fellas. We're getting real close.
Should we talk about our scouting adventure last weekend? We seen a raccoon.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's about it. I seen a doe walking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blew that spot to smithereens.
Thank God I don't hunt there.
It'll be all right. 25 days.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already almost here.
It's real close.
The tack really got my brain off of hunting onto something else, and now
Yeah.
the tack was over. It's like, oh, hunting season's next, and it's like right here.
Yeah.
Still waiting on a tack truck announcement date, TBD.
Today's the last day of the tack, and what we figured they would do the drawing tonight, but that's not coming to fruition. So.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it anyway. So we're gonna do a podcast when it finally announces when they're gonna announce the truck. We're gonna sit down and do a live.
It'll probably be a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock.
All right, whatever. We're gonna do it. We'll make it happen. We want to do that live and see them announce John's name.
Absolutely.
You guys are gonna see John pass out.
It comes close in his intros, but I think you might actually see it happen.
They really need to get better with that. Like, I love the tack, but like that's the main attraction. You gotta let people know.
There's guys like
when
you.
they're announcing
Yeah.
the truck.
Yeah.
It's not. I get what you're saying, but it's definitely not the main attraction.
Well,
the main
I
attraction is,
mean,
of course,
For
but
the people that get in, it's
Yeah.
the main attraction.
that's what we know. That's
Yeah.
what we want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know, when are you guys going to announce this? So hopefully they give us a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not like announcing the tack truck in an hour. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
got to scramble to make sure you can watch. So hopefully they give us a little bit of a heads up, at least a day notice of the truck announcement of who won the truck will be tomorrow at this time. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm on the I'm on the Total Archery Challenge Facebook page, shooters page, Facebook page, and apparently, as of Snowbird in Utah, only 54 people got in.
Wow.
I thought it would be a lot more. So
I didn't.
really,
No.
I thought it'd be in the 70s.
No.
There was a lot of people that got in Silver Springs.
Yeah, because we're fucking badasses.
We're fucking East Coast though. We're
Fucking
so
East
fucking
Coast
cool.
boys, though. That's what we do.
Even though that was the hardest.
Yeah,
one.
yes, it was the hardest setup.
The-
San Antonio.
Yeah, like Texas flat.
You know it's flat when they put the cube, the
Yeah.
shooting cube underneath the target.
There
They don't
was
want you to lose your air. They want your air to skim past the target. We're shooting.
Zero cube.
Our backdrop was a mountain.
Yeah. We had
You missed. You were on the side of a mountain.
yeah. You had your arrow. It was just had some dirt on it.
But yeah, wherever you see them putting that Reinhardt, whatever they put underneath that damn caribou, you knew it was a flat trajectory.
Yeah. Like, I hate to sound like a Karen here, but I feel like they should try to
Level the playing field out a little more
yeah,
next year.
like every shoot they should try to mimic the caribou shoot.
What degree you think that was we were shooting on?
A lot.
35?
I don't know, man. I'm not real good at judging degrees.
90 straight up.
I'll take a protractor next time.
90 straight up.
I understand them.
Probably about 35.
Yeah, I probably something like that, like a 30-degree
Yeah.
incline. It was pretty significant. Like you guys are saying, I think it was more of an incline than most of the other ones I've seen online, if
Absolutely.
not all of them. But yeah, it is what it is, you know.
Well, we know what we have to do next year.
Yeah, now we know we how to prepare for it a little better, so now we're going to shoot accordingly this year in preparation for it.
Sure.
Let's close out on a shooter pass, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we'll wait for Johnny to get back, or we'll reiterate. I'll start with you, Ronsky. Okay, shooter pass. It's kind of a scenario, but we're going to call it a shooter pass.
All right.
Because you got to pick one or the other. You got to shoot one, you got to pass one. All right. You got a genie comes out of a bottle, and he gives you the choice to have this superpower. You can either never get winded again or never miss another shot again. So you have the choice of either one of these superpowers. Never get winded by another deer again or never miss another shot again. Which one are you going to go with?
Fuck. they both take fun out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm struggling with it.
I know what I'm doing.
As sick as this may sound, I find enjoyment out of getting busted on or fucking up one of the, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy that. That's hunting.
Yeah.
So this is a tough. You take wind out of hunting, then and you take missing shots out is.
Yeah.
Damn, I'll go wind.
Going with wind.
Yeah. I don't miss to begin with, so I'm going with wind.
You missed last year.
And my reasoning behind the wind is, at least if there's a chance of me missing a shot, it's me.
Yeah.
Well, wind is too, but I gotta keep that. I don't know.
It would be so sick to just go out in the woods and just not care and just find a tree and get up in it.
Never get winded.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you. I'm shooting to never get winded. I'll pass on the never miss another shot because I feel like the wind is
nature.
Yeah, man. That's more of a limiting factor than never missing another shot again. I feel like. Let's go because shit, man. If the wind's bad, the wind's bad. There's nothing you can do. You can't hunt there, and if you can, if you do, you're gonna go get blown up. It's almost like. If one of these magical cover scents actually worked, then you could use that and never get winded. Man, how much that would enable you to hunt is fucking insane. Because the whitetail's nose is the hardest thing to beat. Yeah. It's the biggest factor when it comes to hunting whitetails is their scent. That's their primary defense mechanism. And if you can beat that, man, it opens up a hell of a lot of possibilities.
But you can't.
Yeah, you can't. This is all theoretical. It's just fun to think about. But I agree with you, Runsky. I think it also would take a lot of the fun out of it.
Yeah, the strategic prey versus predator.
Yeah. That's what makes it so challenging is having to beat their wind and having to outwit these animals. It's almost like those what are those things called? The ozone emitters.
Ozonics?
Like ozonics units and stuff. Even if they did work.
They don't.
Which I don't.
Even if they did work.
Yeah, we've discussed this before. Even if they did, man, doesn't it kind of take a little bit of the fun out? And it's kind of like, I feel the same way about redneck blinds and stuff like that. Hey, man, look, I think they're awesome. They're so cool.
Funny.
And would it be nice to have one? Sure. But doesn't it take a little bit of the meaning of hunting? Because for me, that's not hunting. You're sitting in this nice cozy blind. You're watching fucking Netflix.
You got a buddy heater. It's 70 degrees in there.
Yeah, and it's kind of cheap and lame to me. It kind of ruins the whole experience of that hunting is. I don't know. I guess everybody wants different things from what we do.
Yeah.
But to me, it kind of ruins it for me. And would I take one if you gave it to me? Fucking right, I would. But I don't know. I don't know how much I would really use the thing.
The inside of mine would smell awful.
There's just people out there that just want to kill deer, and there's people out there that want to kill deer and have the experience, and that's us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's the experience in itself, getting out in the woods and doing it is half the fun for me.
Fuck. Yeah,
and boys, it's coming. 25 days.
Next podcast will be in the fucking teens, dude.
Yeah, it's. I hope we get a nice cold front, and it is just a beautiful opening weekend like it was last year.
I doubt it. It's been a scorcher.
Yeah, it's been so hot lately. So we'll see, but it's coming in close, ladies and gentlemen who are tuning in. I hope you guys are getting as excited as we are. And if you're in one of those states that are already open, you lucky motherfuckers.
We'll send you a koozie if you send us a picture.
Yeah, send us some pics. We want to see them. We'd love to see them. Probably end up being me or John with the first entry.
Yeah. Most likely.
No way.
Well, we will see. We're all competing. We gotta. Oh, you know what? We're running a little late, so we can talk on it. We'll leave another cliffhanger. I like to leave these cliffhangers. We're going to start doing this more often to you fuckers. But we've decided the punishment for the loser of our deer hunting competition this year. The three of us and our buddy Ryan Maitland are all going to have a shoot-off. Basically, it's whoever kills the most deer, bucks being more valuable than does. And we've got a score system all set up. we're going to keep track, and at the end of the year, whoever comes in last is going to have to go through a gauntlet of hell. It's going to suck for them to have to do this, and one of us is going to do it.
Not me.
Not me.
So we'll see, but we'll tune you guys in. We'll let you know what we're going to do and how we're going to punish the loser. It's going to be pretty fucking funny.
Next week.
So make sure you tune in to the Beers and Deers podcast. We appreciate y'all. Tell somebody about us. Give us a like, a share, subscribe, give us a comment. We appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week as we get just a little bit closer to the best time of year, deer season.
Adios.
Bye.